What up, YouTube? So today is going to be part 4 of the Honda Civic ekk2 k24 swap, and today we're going to be getting this car running and starting. These are the main components you need to get a running car. So pretty much after your car is mounted in, as this one is right now, you have your engine harness. This is an 0506 Type S engine harness, so I will be repinning some things. This is meant for an 02 to 04, but it is possible to still use this. I just like hybrid racing conversion harnesses. There is some companies now that do sell 05, 06, but I just stick with them. So you obviously need your conversion harness. This pretty much is what integrates the engine harness with your cluster. So you'll get your speed, tach, check engine light, battery light, etc. Now, as far as running K-tuner, the reason why I run K-tuner is because first of all, it's a lot cheaper, and when you're trying to get your car running, most of the time you're spending, on Honda, the average person, I'm not going to say everybody because you can find some deals, but the average Honda is literally like $1,200 if someone's just selling it. Maybe you can find one at $1,000 or whatever, but when you run an 02 to 04 harness, those can get kind of pricey right now. A little bit cheaper to find 05 to 06. They're actually getting up there now because a lot of people are starting to understand you can run K-tuner. One reason why I like K-tuner though as well is because when it comes to reading of the transmission speed, it can actually read 02 to 04 and 05 to 06. Honda can read it, but it can't produce the signal. So you need a speed converter. That's an extra $200. Just more money that starts adding up when you're trying to just get your car running. You can always upgrade and switch to Honda if you ever want to, but most people are just trying to get their cars running with no check engine lights and maybe get a slight tune on it at that. But yeah, other than that, we got our fuel system right here, and we're gonna tuck it with the K-tune fuel filter, so everything will look a little neat. Other than that, we just got to put some grounds, and we're gonna put we have an intake for this car, so we're putting a legal intake on here. And then we're going to be putting the exhaust manifold, and I think after all that we should be able to get the car running or at least start it up, and then figure out what we're going to have to do after that. But we'll be getting a lot of stuff done right now. So as far as the harness, this is going to be the one that goes into the actual engine harness, so this connects to that. This is going to be part of the chassis, so that'll actually just plug in. I'll show you guys when we get that plugged in on that. This is gonna plug on the driver's side. So what I like to do is the fan switch and coolant, I like to extend them all the way up to the other side and bring them to over here. But we'll get to that later. We'll actually be taking the sensor out and putting in the adapter for the temperature. So I'll show you guys how to do that as well. A couple things we gotta do. So first thing is probably gonna just run this conversion harness, which is going to come over here. You come right here, plug this one directly in. So we'll have to push through that, get this out of the way real quick, and then we'll connect it to the engine side and get that plugged in. But I also have to, so this is the E-plug, so stuff is a little different from 05, 06. So I'll be taking this E1 right here and putting that into E17. I'll be taking I believe this is E26, putting it into E25, and then I have to take number 3 on the C101, tap in to where this is at right here. That'll be my speedometer, I believe. And yeah, that's gonna be speed. This is gonna be tach, and then this just goes to E17, and that's pretty much it. And then this is gonna go into your actual B plug, which is going to be the same color, and you just T-tap onto it. Don't cut it or anything. So yeah, we'll get this on here first. We'll show you guys how that looks after install, and we'll get the ECU on here, and then we'll probably continue on to get the fuel, get the lines going, and we'll go from there. All right, so we're back. This is the side where I got the plug connected over here. And then on this side, oops, we have the E-plug which goes by itself. The E plug and the A plug are the same style, so you can switch those up and the car won't start. So the A plug and B plug always next to each other. This is the K tuner that we got all ready to go. Next thing we got to do is take this wire right here, tap it into B10, which is this white blue wire right there. This is the other plug that I was telling you guys about that just plugs right in, and then this is the engine harness. So like I said, very simple, anybody can do this. It's just all plug and play, besides the repinning, and that's only repin for 05 to 06. If you're running 02 to 04, disregard that. One thing we do got to get to is get to the actual we got to take all this out because we have to rewire how this goes, or car won't start up. So we'll get to that. We're gonna start installing the fuel system, and then we'll come back and see what we're gonna do next. All right, so we're back now. We got our charge harness on here right now, so we're gonna be able to get our starter wire and our alternator wire going to our fuse box and to our battery. I went ahead and got the fuel system on here, so we're regulated, ready to go. It's a real simple system, so we're just gonna feed the fuel rail. That's our return, and then this is our feed with the fuel filter. So that's all tucked away. We have, you know, the stock factory one gone. Now we got these two wires coming from the conversion harness right here. So one's gonna go right here. That's for the temperature sensor. I just did the little adapter and the sensor. So that's on there. So we'll have temp, and then I'm waiting for the bottom hose kit, radiator hose kit. We'll mess with that in the next video because that's not important for startup. But right now, we need to get this wire extended, and then let's see, I'll probably get the intake on here for now. See how we're gonna get that going. We gotta put the exhaust manifold to get the bolts for that. And then I gotta repin the E plug for fuel and tachometer and the speedo. And I believe after we do that and put some grounds on here, we can possibly get a startup. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the alternator and battery wire extended and everything. We'll get to the grounding and then get the exhaust manifold on here, and if everything is good, we can go for a start, or if there's anything else I could think of, we'll come back and redo. But right now we're just trying to get the car running, so I can show you guys how it starts up. This is the most important thing, because everything else you can order later, like if you don't have axles, shift linkage, any of that. The main thing is to get the engine, transmission, clutch, flywheel, some grounds, the conversion harness, compatible ECU with your engine harness, and your fuel system. That's all you really need for a startup. Everything else you can buy later. It's just better to get a running car than to have a car sitting and wondering what parts you're gonna need next. So we're gonna go ahead and knock that out, and then we'll come back. All right, so we're back now, and we got our starter wire connected. I actually need to buy an alternator wire because the one I have is too short. But we don't need that to start the car. Starter one is the only one we really need. So I got the exhaust manifold on here right now, and then I'll open the ECU cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the laptop onto this, and then we gotta put some oil in the car real quick. These are the 3 wires you do need. So the 2 powers and then the green white need to be connected so that the ignition will come out. The key won't come out the ignition if the green white wire isn't connected to a power. Pretty much like this. I'm just gonna wrap it up, tuck it away, and that'll be it for that. Yeah, I repinned the E1, so that's good. I still gotta connect the B10, but we don't have any belts right now for the serpentine, so alternator light's not gonna work anyways. So I'll put a little map on here real quick, and then top off my oil and see if we can get a first time start on this car. All right guys, so we're back now, and I got everything pretty much ready to go. We got our fuel set, had a couple leaks, but we got that fixed up. And right now, I just want to show you guys if the car starts up. So let's go get this thing going. So got everything pretty much ready. Still gotta clean up everything, but this is just a startup video for you guys. So alright, so this car is officially K-swapped. That's why I like to get my motors from Red Line of JDM. If you guys want a good K24 JDM motor, hit them up for sure. James will hook you up. Just tell him that I sent you or whatever. But yeah, always gives me good engines. Do not go to California JDM. I've been ripped off by them so many times. I will never ever recommend them again. And even when I did try to like reconcile and try to get a good deal, they still didn't want to even give me a motor that I was literally going to pay top dollar for. So yeah, if you want a good engine, go to Redline JDM. Other than that, guys, we still got some parts coming in, but I got most of the stuff here. I just wanted to show you guys, always get your swap running first, because it feels so much more better when you have a running car than a car that just looks like it's swapped. I mean, anybody can drop a motor and transmission in and look nice, but most of the time that I see these cars end up getting sold right back online with just a project sale. So do the simple things, get your ECU, get your wiring, and get your fuel first, and then let everything else follow up. Other than that, if you haven't liked, share, subscribe, comment, let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to see more content, I have plenty of EKs with K24 swaps, K20s, if you guys want to jump ahead of the content. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video.